Greetings, my fellow gamers. It is I, Wraith King, bringing you news from beyond the mirror, from the other world. And if you're new to this channel, I have to say I'm really sorry about the watermark up in the corner. I don't have 5-star equipment like most YouTubers do. I have to use this app on my phone to record, and boy do I hate it. Don't worry, that watermark won't be there for much longer, but I actually figured out a few ways I can actually get rid of that. And I will be doing that very soon. I don't know when though, but anyways, back to the review. Today we are talking about Devilian. Probably the most disappointing game released recently. Why do I say that? Gameville really fell short with this one. The mechanics, although they are very unique, and please don't get this wrong, transforming into a monster is by far the greatest mechanic you can ever add into any hack-slash game. It is by far the greatest mechanic. I said that before and I will say it again. It is awesome. That is a great mechanic. But why do these mechanics suck? First of all, each character class does have different skills, but the creature you mutate into, they all have the exact same skills. There is no variety, there is no variation, they all have the same skills. The only difference is when you switch character classes, the only difference between the creature's form is the appearance. That is it. And what makes this mechanic even more frustrating is the fact that each character class does have different abilities. They have different abilities, but their devil form does not. And what makes it annoying is you have to transform into the devil form because it's stronger, it's better, it's faster, it's all around better than their original form. And there is absolutely no reason why you would want to go back to their original form. Even though I'm pretty sure you want to see the different skills and use the different skills that the original form of the character has. But you don't need to. And you practically, there's no reason to because the devil form is stronger. It is ridiculous. This game had such huge potential. The fact that you can transform into a creature and play a hack-slash game like this is awesome. Every game that does that, for example, Devil May Cry, they have done it. Onimusha, they have done that. That mechanic is all around great. It is awesome. It is amazing. But the fact that this one just failed with the mechanic is that each mutation does exactly the same thing. And you would think in most games like this where you can transform into a creature, there's a time limit, right? There's an end to your power, but not in this game. In this game, your power is practically infinite. All you have to do is hit things a whole bunch of times, and you can stay in your mutation. And if you hadn't noticed, in hack-slash games, you're always hitting things. There's never a stop to hitting things. So, you're always in your demon form. You're always powerful. And you never get to use your actual different skills that your character comes with in their original form. You're stuck with the demon form. There's no reason I should change back, and there's no way I actually can. There should be a limit to my power so it won't seem like the same thing over and over again in each level. There should be a time limit. This is how the game should originally work, if you ask me. You get your demon meter, or whatever that purple meter's called right here, you get it up to full, and then you transform. But when you're attacking, your meter should not be going up. It should gradually go down, very slowly, and then, once it runs out, you change back into a human being. That's what the mechanic should be. It shouldn't be, oh, it's infinite. All you gotta do is keep hitting things, and your meter will stay up. That's not a very good mechanic, because you'll be staying in your demon form the whole battle, because a hack-slash game, you're always fighting things, you're always hitting things. I don't know if the meter's going to be going up a little slower in the future, but what I'm seeing right now, I've played a lot of levels, and it has been going up exactly the same way. It hasn't been getting any slower, it hasn't been getting any faster, it's been going up and down the same speed. But hey, there are a few interesting features of the game. There's not all bad. The game itself isn't that bad. Like this Devil Stones thing, I find this quite interesting. the fact that you can add these different stones and equip them, and they all increase your power in a different way, I find that very interesting. I mean, I've seen this in other games before, mostly mobile games, but it's definitely an interesting feature to add to a hack-slash game. This is definitely one of the cooler features of the game. But other than this, there's not much I'd give a thumbs up. But why do I say that? First of all, the gameplay in itself is a serious imitation of Hit. If you don't know what Hit is, it is one of the greatest hack-slash games that has ever been released. Well, on the phone anyways. Hit, also known as Heroes of Incredible Tales, they have revolutionized mobile gaming. I mean, the graphics on that game are stunning. They're awesome. The gameplay is great. This really has copied off of Hit in so many ways. The item system, the enhancement system, the only strong difference of this game is the Devil Stone thing and the fact that you can change into a monster. Other than that, this game really seems like a failed imitation of Hit. I hate to say it. And that's saying a lot. Gameville has always brought amazing games to us. They have brought so many memorable games. For one is a good example, Destinia. How many of you remember Destinia? The graphics weren't that great, but the gameplay and the story is what made it so great and memorable. Another great game Gameville brought to us was Zonia. Zonia was awesome, but the newest one was kind of the end of the series. It wasn't all that great, but it was still pretty good. But when Gameville came out with Darkness Reborn, I knew that they were going to start coming out with really, really good games from now on. Why do I say that? Because when I played Darkness Reborn, the graphics were great. They were far beyond any mobile game I have ever played. They were really, really trying hard to make this mobile game similar to a console game, and they succeeded. It was beyond anything I've ever played, and still to this very day, there are very few mobile games that can actually peak what Darkness Reborn has. It is still an amazing mobile game. Even the characters are absolutely unique. The warrior is an excellent example. In most hack-slash games, you see a warrior with a big sword, and that's it, and armor. A big sword and armor. That's your average warrior in a hack-slash game. But in this game, he used a spear and a shield. And the way he used his weapons were just so cool and unique. The way he played, that warrior was by far the coolest warrior I have ever used in any mobile game. Even in Hit, the warrior is awesome in Hit, but he still uses a giant sword and armor. So, he's not exactly unique. But in Darkness Reborn, the warrior is so unique. And another unique character class was the assassin class, which I believe is pronounced Kimono Ichi. I believe that's how you pronounce that kind of ninja. She was awesome. She was a literal ninja. Like most games, the assassin uses 2 daggers. That's your regular hack-slash assassin right there. But the ninja was awesome. She was so cool. I feel like using her right now, in fact. Not a lot of games have a ninja for a playable character. There are a few hack-slash games that do, but none of them really executed the ninja character properly. But in Darkness Reborn, the ninja character was really, really cool. Another character class, there were so many character classes, I'm going to try to go down a list really fast. For the Berserker class, he's the newest class. He uses 2 axes, and that's it. He uses 2 axes, and he's some big beast-looking guy, and he's really cool. I use him a little more often. And the Archer class is another class. This is probably the most unique Archer class I've ever seen in any mobile game. The reason I say that is, well, what Archer wields 2 bows? He has a giant crossbow on his back, and he has a miniature crossbow on his arm, which he fires like a machine gun, and he has like this cursed hand that like uses demon magic. It's insane, really. And then the mage is another very unique character. And it's just all great. All these characters in Darkness Reborn were amazing. But then when they came out with this game right here, I thought that they were going to come out with something even better than Darkness Reborn. But It's like Gameville didn't want to do that. They came out with something that was less than Darkness Reborn. Even the graphics aren't as good as Darkness Reborn. It's like Darkness Reborn was the best they could do, and they're not coming out with anything to upgrade that. And it's really, really sad. I mean, I like the fact that I can change into a monster. That is awesome, and please don't think that is the reason this game is doing terrible. No, that is not the reason this game is doing terrible. The fact that you can transform into a creature is awesome. It's just the fact that they didn't execute it right is what made it turn out a little corny. Please don't feel bad, Gameville, if you're watching this. This is only a review. I don't mean to be rude, but that's the truth. It's not that this mechanic is bad, it's just that it wasn't executed correctly. Each of the forms should be doing something different than the other. And since there's no difference between the mutations, there's no reason you should even switch your character to another character. Because you're going to be using your demon form the whole stage anyways. So why even bother using another demon form that does exactly the same thing? So there's no reason I should even switch my character. But they do attack differently. Like their basic attacks, like punching and all that kind of stuff, they attack differently, but that's it. They don't use any special abilities that are different, and they look like they all have unique abilities. If you take a good look at each of the demon forms, they all look like they do something very, very different. But they don't. They all use the same special abilities, and it's irritating. I don't want to say it's lazy, but it kind of is. But why do I say it's lazy? Well, you see, each character should be able to do something different, right? And that's how it is in most hack-slash games. And even the games that have mutations like this right here, a demon form for the special characters, each demon form does something different. It's been like that since the beginning. Each demon form does something unique. That's what makes you want to use the other character. Like, hey, I want to use the warrior because his demon form, I don't know, it summons a gigantic sword, or like, he grows to a humongous size and turns into an even worse demon. And then an assassin class, like, I don't know, like, uses some Reaper powers of some kind. But they don't have that in this game. They don't have any variety in between the characters. So it doesn't make any sense why you would make different character classes and not make each demon form do something actually different. But in all, it really does upset me because I really wanted this game to be great. I mean, it had so much potential. I mean, transforming into a creature, as I said before at the beginning of the video, it is an amazing mechanic. It is hard to make this mechanic bad because it's so much fun to transform into something so powerful and for that brief moment of time be able to just kick the butts of everything you see. It's just awesome. But Gameville really fell short with this one, and it's upsetting, really it is. It's a shame that they didn't pull the game to its fullest potential, and then they ended up making this. It really is sad, but yeah, that's all the time I have left for this video. I make reviews like this all the time. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded a video sooner because I was quite busy this week. But don't worry, I'll be doing this a lot more often because I actually like reviewing games, RPG games and hack-slash games especially, because I like action and I like fantasy, and hack-slash and RPG games always have those in them. So expect a lot more game reviews in the future. But anyways, that's all the time I got for this video, my fellow gamers. Bye.